In this age of mass tourism, the masses are getting harder to please. But there's a whole new world out there waiting to be explored. 70% of the planet that lies beneath the waves. No longer is the deep the exclusive preserve of the world's navies. During the Second World War, the Japanese used this sub in the invasion of Guam. Now, more than 6 decades later, the Japanese are back, but taking a dive in a very different sub out here in the harbour. And this time, the locals welcome them with open arms. The adventure starts with a ritual photo. Then it's a quick ride out into the harbour to board the Atlantis 5. Since first surfacing in the early 80s, submarine tourism has grown steadily. Canadian company Atlantis is now the biggest builder and operator of tourist subs, with 11 boats worldwide. With 50,000 dives off Guam, Eric Lewis says he hasn't lost a passenger yet on what he bills as a family experience.
You can take your grandparents, you can take your entire family down on the sub and see what everything below the surface has to offer.
The size of a school bus, the electric-powered Atlantis transports 46 passengers 50 metres down into the other world. We plunge into the depths to the strains of the soundtrack from the movie Titanic. As the music swells, so do the fears of a few passengers. But they're soothed by reassurances that there's at least 10 centimetres of plastic between them and disaster. At the controls is submarine pilot Roger Duffy.
I was in the Navy, but I had nothing to do with subs when I was in.
What did you do in the Navy?
I was a Seabee, construction.
You're going from truck driver to submarine captain.
Yes, quite a difference. Quite a flash on my resume.
The filtered sunlight casts an eerie blue glow on this strangely serene experience. The sensation is of a slow-motion plane ride through the deep. But as we marvel at the natural beauty, there's a gentle warning that the divers also like to commune with nature.
Some of the divers would come down and they are pretty liberal with their clothing or not having it on. So they'll come down and moon the side of the sub or something along those lines, and normally gets all the Japanese tourists giggling.
So how was it?
It's good. It's very beautiful. Good visibility.
How does this compare to diving?
I prefer scuba.
It's not just tourists who are hooked on underwater odysseys. Subs have become the latest accessory of the super rich. Dodgy Russian businessmen to American software billionaires. There could be as many as 100 private submarines now lurking out there. No one is precisely sure, as it's an extremely lucrative and highly secretive business. One company is marketing plans for this $18 million luxury sub, 4 times the size of Atlantis, complete with 5 staterooms, jacuzzi and a bar.
On all the mega yachts, you see people, they have their helicopters or jet skis, and so it's another toy for people to play with. Certainly, I think if I had a yacht big enough to do it, I'd probably have one also.
If I've got a bit of spare cash, how much am I up for if I want to buy something like you guys are?
Somewhere around $5 million for, that's the submarine and all the shoreside equipment that you need.
Here's your tiller, your rudder indicator, and here's the...
Of course, you need to try before you buy. But a test drive can be problematic. It takes 2 years to learn how to pilot a private sub. However, Roger's prepared to, quite literally, put his life in my hands, after explaining a few basics.
And this is our bow thruster, which is right here on the port side. If you want to go port, or if you want to go to starboard, it works in either direction.
Right. So even if I drive this thing into the bottom, we're still going to float to the surface.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you, really crash and we break and, flood the place.
With the tourists safely ashore and the novice at the controls, we begin our descent into the abyss. Well, to the bottom of Guam Harbour anyway.
Turn the rudder whichever way you want to go, port or starboard.
So port's left,
right.
Starboard's right.
Starboard's right.
Should I be doing this gently, or are we going to...
That doesn't happen.
It is arguably the ultimate boys' own adventure. But regrettably, I didn't get to sign over $5 million of the ABC's money. Private submarines will, for now at least, remain the preserve of billionaires and tourism operators. Well, Roger, that was fun. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very, very much.
I enjoyed it.
How deep did we go that time, the second time?
About 31 meters.
How do I rate as a student?
You actually picked up on it pretty quick. I'll give you a A-.
A minus? Oh, well, look, it was so much fun. Can we go and do it again?
Sure, let's go.
Okay, let's go.